Quest for gear coming to you from a park because I don't know if I should drive 300 kilometers to Long and McQuade to get my mixing board or not. I called. So we're past the 2 weeks now. Now, when the guy said 2 weeks, when I handed my Tascam Model 24 in for repair, he said 2 weeks. That was what he said. I didn't hold it I'm not going to hold that to them because 2 weeks is ridiculous. Anybody should know. You're not going to get that Tascam Model 24 fixed in 2 weeks. It's probably got to go to TAC or Rico or whoever fixes their Tascam stuff. So when Donut Head said 2 weeks, I knew he was just being a donut head. 2 weeks is a stupid thing to say. So I'm not going to hold them to 2 weeks. But the 2 weeks has come and gone, and I'm wondering, do I make the 300 kilometer drive to London North to go get my Tascam Model 24 mixing board? And I called, and they didn't know nothing about nothing, and they were all out of ideas. The lady's like, it doesn't say anything here. I'm like, oh, well, as a customer calling in wondering about my mixing board, that doesn't leave me in a very good spot, does it? She's like, it just doesn't say anything. I'm like, oh, well, what should I do then? Like, should I just assume it doesn't exist or what? Like, you have my mixing board. So she's like, well, who did you drop it off to? I'm like, well, you guys, you know. She's like, but who? And I'm like, well, let me tell you about how any ERP, TMS, CMS system works in computers in the modern age of, 2025. Let me tell you how they all work, lady. When you make a ticket, somebody's name goes on the ticket. So all you need to do as part of your job at Long and McQuade is look and see who made the ticket. And she's like, oh yeah, it says right here, Duncan or whoever. I'm like, there you go. Now you're doing a little something. You're kind of working now, lady. Like, now you've put a little effort into this. Now that I had to tell you that there's a name on every ticket. Like, there's a name on every ticket, lady. I don't work there. I don't design software for Long and McQuade, and I can tell you there's a name on every ticket. That's just how modern work orders work. Okay? So then she's like, but it doesn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, but as a customer, like, what are you telling me? Like, just, we don't know? She's like, well, there's no parts or no labor. I'm like, okay, well, so as a customer, you have my mixing board. What am I supposed to do with that lack of information? Nothing, nothing. Okay, fine. Again, I'm not going to hold them to the 2 weeks. To say 2 weeks was stupid. It's not that. It's just that, how do you tell a customer, like, I don't know anything? So then what am I supposed to do? So imagine it wasn't a Tascam mixing board for music. Imagine it was your car, and you bring your car in, and the lady's like, I don't know anything. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm calling about my car. You have my car. And the lady's like, well, I don't know anything. And she's like, well, who did you drop it off to? I'm like, well, lady, when you drop a car off for service, somebody's name goes on the ticket, And then she's like, oh, we do have your car. Well, I don't know nothing about nothing. And again, you step back, and as the customer, you're like, what am I supposed to do now then? Right? Like, I work in IT, and if someone was checking up on a ticket, you can't just go, nobody knows nothing about nothing. You have to take it to another step, right? If I had your computer in for service, and you call and you're like, what's up with my computer? I can't just go, sorry, don't know. I don't know. I got it, or maybe I don't. Like, she doesn't even know where it is. She doesn't know. There's just nothing. Nothing. Like, nothing. Like, she doesn't even know if they have it. She just knows there's a ticket because I prodded and pushed her into doing that much of her job, right? She's like, well, who did you bring it into? Just look on the ticket. I don't work there. I've never used your software, but I know there's a name on that ticket. You can't make a database record like that without a name on the ticket. So that's where we're at. Now, I could drive up today, 300 kilometers. I don't need to. Again, the 2 weeks was a stupid thing to say. They should have never said 2 weeks. So I'm not really upset about that. I'm not really upset at all. I'm just like, How do you do that in service? How do you do that in service? Imagine, I don't even know what, if you're getting your dog groomed, right? You're like, hey, I dropped Bitey off for his dog grooming. And they're like, well, we don't know. I'm like, you don't know if you have my dog, you don't know if you groomed Bitey or not? And they're like, well, we don't know. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do with that lack of information? If you don't know and I don't know, are you gonna make me drive 300 kilometers to see if you got my dog? You know, like, it's a funny thing. If you watch my other video, it's the other lady that would not help me at all. She made me drive that 300 kilometers in terms of she wouldn't give me any pre-information to prevent me from driving that far, because she just kept going. She's like, we gotta see it. Well, gotta see it, lady. Now you've seen it, and you still don't know. Now that you've seen it, you don't know. It's unreal. So again, it's not about the 2 weeks. The 2 weeks was a really mental thing for that guy to say. It was really stupid for him to say, oh yeah, well, it fixed in 2 weeks. It's like, because she did see that on the ticket. She's like, oh, it's due. It was supposed to be fixed April 30th. I'm like, yeah, that was never going to happen. It was never going to be fixed April 30th. That guy used no estimation logic for that at all. I don't work at a Long and McQuade. I don't work for Tascam, and I can tell you it's not going to be done in 2 weeks. Anyway, it's crazy. So retire, lady. Retire already. Come on. You're no good in that role. Anyway, like and subscribe and continue following me on my Tascam drama. Thanks for watching.